I mean, that's great, and I still remember some, but I didn't really learn much about Odia culture. I didn't really learn much about the language, or I didn't have a lot of other people, you know, in Nashville that I grew up with that were the same age as me. So I kind of grew up isolated, and when I went to college, I didn't really hang out with many Indian people. I mean, there were some Indian people, but they weren't Odia.
You didn't hang out with me.
But then, you know, I realized, like, a few years ago, I realized that I'm stuck between two worlds. You know, I do have my family that's still in India. You know, all my dad's side is still in India, and most of my mom's side is here in America. And I realized I've, you know, hung out with them all the time, but I have almost no connection with my dad's side. And I think it's because I never really did anything. I don't really know much Odia. I'm learning to speak it and read it and write it now. But I didn't before, and I couldn't really communicate with them. You know, that was the thing. I couldn't communicate with them very well. And I kind of ended up alienating myself. And I don't want to blame my parents for it because, you know, I think they tried, but I didn't do it. And so now I realize that it's really important that I need to stay connected to both. My family here, obviously, they're the same way. They're happy to have kind of American and Odia India. But I want to stay connected to my Indian side, to my Odia side, to the people still there in Odisha. And I also realized that I want my kids to be that way. You know, that's in the future. But I want them to be that way. I don't want them to forget about Odisha. Now that I realize that, oh yeah, I'm from there, you know, like, I don't want them to lose sight of that. I had somebody ask me, not too long ago actually, that, you know, he said, well, since you're born in the US, that means that you're 50% connected to Indians, 50% connected to Americans. I don't think that's really true, but I see where you're going with this. And then he said, so that means when you have kids, they're going to be maybe 10% connected to your Indian side and 90% connected to America. Because they'll say, oh, my dad is born in America, you know, what does it matter to know about India? And I was like, no, that shouldn't happen. That's bad, I feel like, because if you lose sight of where you're from, who are you? You know, if I were, you know, half and half myself, let's say, for example, I was half Indian, half American, I still want them to just stay that way. You know, don't lose sight of one side over another side. Don't forget where you come from. Don't forget your own culture or anything like that. And I see a lot of the younger kids in Nashville now are kind of like that. They fight the Odia culture. You know, I asked somebody if they were excited to go to Rath a couple weeks ago. He was like, unfortunately, I have to go. Why is that unfortunate? You go once a year, it's a lot of fun. You get to, you know, play songkha and bonfire, you know, do the party and everything. And that's a lot of fun. You know, I didn't think so when I was little. I know what he's talking about, but now that I realize, I'm like, this is great. I don't want to lose sight of this, and I don't want the younger generation to lose sight of this. I want to be a model. I think that's kind of what got me into it. So hopefully other people.
Do you have time?
No, we have time. I did